Good morning, Fitzroy. It's great to see you. But actually, isn't that the point? We haven't seen one another for months and months and months. So we're going to try to remedy that in some sort of small way. Because during the season of Lent, we're going to have a programme called Fitzroy together. And it will be an opportunity, yes, albeit online, to see a lot of our church family participate and offer some thinking over the season of Lent on reflections that they'll be doing on passages out of Luke's Gospel. As well as a Lent reflection each week, there's also going to be some activities that will come in throughout the time of Lent. For example, there'll be a family quiz at the end of March, which Paul Bowman will run. And then there will be also 2 opportunities to tune in via Zoom and have a conversation that Anne McMurray will host. And that's going to be a conversation to talk about how it has been for you during these months of lockdown. For those of you that have been homeschooling or those of you that have been self-isolating, how have you found it? How has it impacted you? And how have you tried to keep your spirits up and keep your spiritual life alive? So those will be called True North, and there will be 2 opportunities to do that that Anne will host. And there'll be a few other things. You can find out online everything that will be happening. But I want to tell you about the actual Lent Reflections programme. And so each Sunday evening of Lent, we will have a reflection that will last up to sort of 20 minutes maximum. And during these 6 Sunday evenings, at least 30 of our church family will participate in these. So that's how we're sort of trying to bring you back together with a sense of seeing one another, seeing people that you haven't seen for months. What will these reflections be like? Well, there will be readings. Then there will be someone who will speak about one of the parables or stories that Jesus tells on this journey to Jerusalem. I'll mention that in a moment. Then there will be some wonderful music, some instrumental music, some song worship, just lovely music for you to reflect with and on. Then someone will pray and they will be linked in with the person who has done the reflection. And then the very last frame will be a little suggestion of a spiritual practice that you could maybe engage in during that particular week of Lent. So Sunday evenings, 7 p.m, starting on Sunday the 21st. Please tune in. Now, we will be using what's called the travel narratives. The travel narratives are the stories and the exchanges, if you like, and the parables that Jesus told and the exchanges he had with his disciples as he journeyed towards Jerusalem, knowing that he was going to the cross. And so what Jesus is trying to do is to teach his disciples how to be a disciple of his, how to be a follower of his during, I suppose leading up to the time when he ends up in Jerusalem, but also afterwards, more particularly afterwards when Jesus is gone. And so that's what a lot of the parables and narrative and exchanges with Jesus are all about. We did the travel narratives in 2015. Some of you will remember that, but I'm sure you'll not remember the actual content of what we did. So hopefully this will come across as really fresh. And what we're longing for is that it gives you a sense of being part of church family again. That's what the whole programme is about. So we encourage you, participate by tuning in every Sunday evening, and then engage with some of the other activities, the quiz or the True North conversation. And then the last thing that we're asking you to do is to think of each Thursday as a day when you can engage with your church family. And maybe particularly with people that you haven't seen or maybe don't even know. And that you go through our little red directory and you choose somebody and you maybe give them a call. Or if they live near to you, go to their door and speak to them at a distance and just say hello. Find out how they are, how they've been doing during this long season of not being together in church, and just encourage them. Try to have a bit of a laugh, and if you're the sort of person can come up with a joke, tell them a joke. Anything to create a sense of, goodness, we are still alive and life is okay. So that's the ambition behind this Lent series. Fitzroy together, trying to encourage you to engage with some online things that let you chat with some of the folk you haven't seen for ages, but also particularly as it is the season of Lent, to pay attention, perhaps a little more attention, to your own walk with the Lord. And as you listen to some of your church family talk about their experiences of discipleship, listen for the still small voice of God as he speaks to you, and respond to it. So may you know God's blessing in all of this activity that's going to take place over the next 6 weeks.